Hello and welcome to the MSTieCast. I'm your host, Toby. Well, it's been a couple of weeks since we've been on, but just wanted you guys to know that we're doing some great stuff in the background, and hopefully you'll see the results pretty soon. But for right now, I've got a very special guest. You might know her from Nerdvice or from videos on the SpoonyExperiment.com, Miss April von Lon.
Hello.
How are you this evening?
I'm pretty good.
Glad to hear that. Well, as I've observed on your Twitter, you are a fan of MST3K.
Oh yeah, big fan.
Alright, so how exactly did you get into the show?
It's actually a super heartwarming and endearing story. When I was about 8 years old, I used to watch it with my grandpa on television. We'd sit up late at night and make popcorn and watch it, and that's basically how I found it. I've been watching the show since I was 8 or 9 years old.
Interesting. We've noticed a trend that most people get into it by going to their friend's house and watching it there.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, it's just kind of an odd trend that keeps cropping up in people's stories. I think that's how CR found it. That's how a few other people we've had on found it. So,
Mm-hmm.
but that's a really nice version of the story.
Yeah. I've been watching it almost since it started. Not quite, but almost. And yeah, it's all due to my grandpa. So basically all of the humor that I enjoy today is because my grandpa watched this television show with me when I was a little girl.
That's awesome. My family's never really been into MST3K, but I didn't get into it until high school. So it was well off the air. Then I'm 20, so I didn't get into it until my last year of middle school or early high school.
Wow, yeah. I've been watching it since about 1990, 91, something like that.
I remember the one time I actually saw it on TV. It was I was in elementary school or something like. I was like 10, and I was just flipping through channels, and I saw it on Sci-Fi Channel, and I just saw the silhouette at the bottom and like a black and white movie. I'm like, well, this is dumb. I'm gonna watch Johnny Bravo. Because I didn't stick around long enough to make a joke. And I'm wishing I had. I'm trying to remember what that movie actually was. It was a black and white movie, which it might have been Hamlet, because it had to have been in the late Comedy Central. Late Sci-Fi Channel era.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking that was probably it, because I stopped doing black and white movies about season 10.
Yeah.
That was the only one, so probably that one. Have you had any dealings with... how involved have you been with the MST3K fandom?
Not very, other than knowing a lot of people who like it, which I don't think is exactly the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not like I don't go to forums or anything like that. I'm not in any groups that involve it. I think probably because of the way I got into it, it's been kind of a private thing for me. It's not something I ever really shared with a lot of friends.
Right.
So yeah, not really involved with fandom. I just know a lot of people who like it, and it's kind of like the default thing. If we're just sitting on the couch or whatever, it's what my boyfriend and I will watch as a default kind of. It's what I put on as background noise when I'm doing anything else.
Same here. When it was still on Netflix, and it's still not back on Netflix, but when it was, I would just put it on in the background while I was editing or writing or whatever.
Yeah. I do the same.
It's good background material, and because it's funny, but it's not something you really have to pay attention to.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like you're going to lose much if you're not watching the story.
Which, in the Turkey Day Marathon is also something of a marathon in my house. I'll put it on my TV, and my brothers and sisters they'll come up here, and sometimes they'll watch it, sometimes they'll want me to put something else on, but I'm like, no, it's Turkey Day. You can go downstairs and watch football.
Yeah, I always watch the Santa Claus Conquers the Martians episode at Christmas.
Same, I watch both, and I've started adding the cinematic Titanic version of Santa Claus Conquers the Martians, which I actually like a lot. How much have you seen any of Cinematic Titanic? Or
a little bit, only like 2 or 3 episodes of that, recorded.
Yeah.
things.
I've only seen their studio stuff. I haven't seen any of their live, which I would like to see them live before they stop touring, but that's probably not going to happen.
Yeah.
At least we still have riff tracks.
Yeah, there's that.
Which, riff tracks, do you have any favorite riff tracks or anything?
I did see the I went to the live showing of Manos, The Hands of Fate.
Mm-hmm.
And that was really good. That was a lot of fun. The only problem I had with it was that, like, I've seen the original so many times that I was expecting the old jokes in the correct places.
Right.
And when they didn't happen, I got a little confused, a little cognitive dissonance.
Yeah.
I've also seen the Plan 9 from Outer Space. That one was really good.
That's one of the few riff tracks, or actually the only riff tracks DVD I own.
Yeah.
Is the Plan 9 live.
The Birdemic riff tracks is great.
That's a good one. I actually surprisingly like the Harry Potter riff tracks, just because
I've not seen that one.
I've seen the movie so many times because I grew up on them that it's just a great new way to experience the films, and the jokes they do for like Uncle Vernon are hilarious. Just like when Harry's escaping in Harry Potter in the Chamber of Secrets, they go, "No, stop in the name of gravy." It's like
I've seen the Twilight riff tracks. Those are really good.
That's like the best way to watch Twilight.
Yeah, I actually, yeah. There's really, you can't watch it otherwise unless you're like heavily drunk.
Heavily drunk or medicated.
Yeah, even then, you still kind of need people making fun of it to get through it.
I still need to show it to my sister because she was a Twilight fan, then she kind of fell out of love with it, and she doesn't like the movie. She likes the books.
Okay.
So
maybe it's time then.
Maybe it's time, but I don't know if I get her to watch it because she'll probably like, what's this commentary? It's really dumb. It's just like that thing you do every Thanksgiving. I'm going to go do something else. We share a lot of things, but a sense of humor is not one of them. Again, riff tracks is something else I would like to experience, but, good thing they're not really going anywhere.
Yeah.
I wanted to go see them do Starship Troopers, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to. I'll probably be scheduled for work that day because they always do them on Thursdays for some reason.
Yeah. Yeah, I wanted to go see it too, but I'm probably going to be doing other stuff that day.
I was really hoping they were going to get Twilight, and I'm kind of crushed they weren't able to.
Yeah.
Because it'd be kind of hard to riff something like Starship Troopers, which is it's a satire.
Yeah.
So how do you riff a comedy?
I don't know. That's a good question.
They kind of did it with Birdemic, but Birdemic is just laughably awful.
Birdemic was not as self-aware at all.
It'd be interesting. I would actually really like to see riff tracks live in the room.
Oh, that would be great.
So they would ask, and Tommy Wiseau would probably say yes if they gave him enough money.
He would now, yeah.
That should have been their plan B. Well, we have all this money. Let's give it to Tommy Wiseau. But going back to MST3K, since you've been there for most of the series run, you, I assume, were there when the major changes were had, when Joel and Mike switched out. And
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Do you have any thoughts on Joel or Mike, one way or the other?
I like them both for different reasons. I mean, they both have their own charm. I mean, I hate picking favorites, but I probably have to lean on the side of Mike if I did. But that doesn't mean I don't like Joel. They're just different people, different kinds of humor.
I'm much the same way. I prefer Joel as a host, but I tend to like Mike episodes more because they have more jokes.
Yeah, they do tend to have more jokes.
In fact,
and oddly enough, I'm fine with either voice for Crow, but I hated Servo's first voice. I did not like J. Elvis Weinstein.
I liked J. Elvis Weinstein Servo, but it's a very different Servo.
Yeah.
And, if you go back and you're expecting, smooth Kevin Murphy style Tom Servo,
Yeah.
They're not the same character at all.
No, not at all.
I actually don't mind Earhart as much as a lot of people do. A lot of people really don't like Dr. Earhart at all. I mean, Forrester and Frank is the immortal combination. They're the peanut butter and chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
But I like Earhart as a character. I just wish she would have gotten to do more.
Yeah.
But, I like J. Elvis Weinstein as a writer and a performer, so.
Yeah. He's really good on Cinematic Titanic.
Yeah. He's great. He had a TV show pilot a couple years ago that I heard about that I'm kind of hoping to see if I can find anywhere. It's like How to Be a Famous Rock Star or something like that. And I kind of want to see that because I would like to see how he wrote that.
That would be interesting.
Since we were on the topic of switching of the crows and servos, Pearl or Dr. Forrester, do you have any strong feelings one way or the other?
Again, I like them both. I'd say Dr. Forrester's my favorite, just because you can't beat Mad Scientist with the stuck up electrocuted hair and the dopey assistant. I mean I really like Pearl, but yeah, Dr. Forrester's my favorite.
Forrester is the definitive villain.
Exactly.
And again, I like Pearl, but again, a lot of people don't like Pearl. Or if they like Pearl, they don't. They liked her better when she was Forrester's mom and not the main villain.
Oh, I've always liked her. I always thought she was very funny. I liked Brain Guy and Bobo. They were funny too.
Brain Guy and Bobo are. Just MST3K overall, wording that switch, it took a while to get started, but when it did, it felt right.
Yeah.
For what they were doing at the time.
Yeah.
And they're different, but they're both good in their own ways.
Yeah.
Now, as far as side characters like Torgo, do you have any favorites?
I always liked it when what's his name? I'm having a brain fart. Excuse me. Give me a moment. Ortega. I loved it when Ortega showed up. Like in the episode with where Pearl's doing the public television drive.
Right.
And she's got him working as like the phone guy. I always thought that was hilarious.
I like Ortega. I liked as far as side characters go, I've always really liked Mike's Jack Perkins. And I'm kind of sad he said he would never put on that makeup again, because that would be a great like DVD extra.
Yeah.
But a man can dream. Or just like a voiceover kind of thing for one of the little documentaries they put on there.
Yeah.
It'd be really good. Because then they wouldn't need the makeup and they could still do that character.
Yes, exactly.
So, just going back to preferences one way or the other, Comedy Central or Sci-Fi Channel era?
I have no preference at all there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they both try to take different directions and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, to me, there's not a huge noticeable difference. They're both enjoyable in pretty much the same way.
All right, good answer. Most people, I noticed, tend to prefer Comedy Central era, but I kind of like Sci-Fi better.
Yeah?
Just personally, just because so many good episodes in that. Like, there are great episodes in Comedy Central, but to me, they're just spaced out more.
Yeah, that's true.
That's just me, though. Some episodes of both versions I can't watch. Like, I just can't get into them.
Yeah, there are a few that are just not that great. I tend to like the ones that are like rubber monster movies better than, say, things that are like teen movies or whatever.
Beach movies.
Yeah, beach movies. I'm not too into those. I like for like silly monsters or something ridiculously supernatural to be happening, or spaceships, things like that.
Speaking of, Riff Tracks did High School Musical a couple of years ago. I'm really hoping they'll do the new spin-off Teen Beach movie. So that's like right up their alley.
Yeah, that seems like.
It's like a musical from the 50s with bikers and surfers. It's so dumb looking, and it's got like a Pleasantville thing where the kids are sucked into the movie.
Oh, great. Yeah, sure.
It looks dumb, and I hope they riff it. So I actually really like the High School Musical Riff Tracks. That's one of my favorites.
I haven't seen that one.
That's a really good one because they'll inject their own lyrics into the songs. For one of them, they do like a medley of different things, like Short People, Suffragette City. It's really great. I'll actually link you to a video of it after we're done. I'll probably use that as theme song music. Mike, Kevin, and Bill, just going off of that, they're kind of the wonder trio of MST3K. Like you had Joel, Bill, and Kevin in the Comedy Central era, but I don't think they had the sort of tight knit workmanship of Mike, Kevin, and Bill of Riff Tracks. Personally.
Yeah, I think also it's the fact that they've been doing it so long. They know exactly what to do by now, I'm sure.
Right, they've worn grooves into each other.
Yeah, exactly. Like after a while, you just know how your comedy plays off each other, so you're able to write things that work for every member of the group.
I really wish they'd do more like comedy bits on their YouTube, or just stuff with them, not riffing anything.
Uh-huh.
Which is one of the reasons I liked the film crew that they did before Riff Tracks.
Because they did like the little intermissions and stuff.
Yeah, it was much more MST3K than straight commentary, and I liked that.
Yeah, I do miss the intermissions. Like I loved the little skits between movie parts. That was a great part of the appeal for me.
Which sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just I was gonna say, have you ever seen any like fan MST3Ks, stuff like the Star Trek V riff or anything like that?
I've seen a few riffs. My boyfriend does some, of course.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen Linkara do a few, and he's very funny. I like his riffs a lot, and I'm sure I've seen others from people who I didn't know who they were at the time. Because, I mean, this is something I've been interested in forever, and I mean, this is something that people have been doing for a very long time. And, when YouTube came around, I think that's probably something everybody was like, well, great, now we can make our own. And I think that's how a lot of, internet comedy shows started, was that they wanted to kind of do their own MSTs. And in fact, I remember when I was really young, I would read a lot of fan fiction that had been MST'd. Like in the dialogue, they would kind of insert like commentary, color commentary, and then even skits just in writing.
Yeah, I'm one of those people who did that. I don't do it as much anymore because I'm trying to do video rips, but I used to actually do that quite a lot.
Yeah, I did a few myself back in the old fan fiction writing days when I was like 15.
Mainly just because I had access to an entire site full of just awful fan fiction. It's like, well, someone should do something with this. I guess I'm the only person in this fandom that watches MST3K. I might as well do it.
Yep.
And I'm a huge fan of people who do full MST3K fan films, like they have the sets and the bots and all that.
Uh-huh.
Like Kara, a great example of that when he did his on Star Trek 1. Have you seen anything of that?
I don't think I have, actually.
He made it in high school.
Oh, well.
And that's actually where Poyo came from.
Oh, that explains it.
So it's fun. It's really fun. I think that's one of those things he kind of wishes we all forgot about. and I kind of single-handedly revived because I got a copy and put it on the internet.
Oh.
Sorry, Lewis.
Now I'll have to go watch it too. Sorry, Lewis.
Sorry, Lewis. It was on YouTube for a while, but it got taken down because it's Star Trek 1.
Yeah, sure. Copyright.
I have like screenshots of it somewhere. I should try and find them because it's so weird how like tiny he is. Because it was high school. Mm-hmm. But he looks similar and dissimilar than he does now. But he even has a little like hair swoop. Yes. Hold on, I can actually show you a picture and yeah. I'll show you a picture right now and we will get your reaction recorded.
Oh dear. Are you trying to make Linkara hate me? Is that what you're doing?
No. If anyone, he's gonna hate me for bringing it up. Look at Tiny Kara.
Aww. That's adorable.
I've actually asked him what happened to the other bot, and he says he thinks one of the other people someone else who worked on it, like, took it with them.
Makes sense.
And I actually spoke to him a while back about if he wanted to do a second one or do like an iRiff, and he said he might, but I think since riff tracks got to the thing I suggested, he's probably not going to, and I suggested the Doctor Who movie with Peter Cushing in the 60s. Mm-hmm. So that's a good one. Another one I highly recommend, just while we're on the subject of fan mistings, Mystery Fandom Theater. I cannot recommend them enough, mostly because one of the guys behind it used to be on the MSTieCast. Mm-hmm. It's great stuff. They have like a full scale replica of the set of the Satellite of Love.
Wow.
It's really well done.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
And I forget what movies they did. I know they did Star Crash, the Italian Star Wars ripoff. Peter Corman. I mean, Roger Corman and the Hoff is in it. Mm-hmm. And I actually have a picture from that. But it's a great set, and they have their own Deep 13 set as well. They're only doing a couple more, and then they're going to stop just because it's really time consuming, and they all have jobs.
Sure, yeah, I know how that is.
But considering they've been doing this since 2000, it's still really impressive.
Mm-hmm. Huh? Yeah, that's an impressive picture. I bet the listening audience wishes they could see it too.
I'll link it in the chat. The next episode they're doing is the Eliminators. Which, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they're doing an episode of all shorts, so that's cool.
Well, that'll be neat. I like shorts.
Actually, I believe they said the next one was going to have Pearl and Brain Guy in it. So I'm really looking forward to it. And Incognito Cinema Warriors on Riff Tracks. They are also awesome guys. Mm-hmm. Have you ever seen any of their stuff?
No, I haven't.
Again, highly recommended. It's MST3K, but with the framing device of the zombie apocalypse.
That sounds interesting.
Like the main character is locked in this like abandoned theater, so to escape the zombies, and they have to go into the theater periodically when there's like zombie sign.
Huh. That's a good approach.
And they do reviews and such on YouTube. They do them of like the Resident Evil movies every time they come out and whatnot. Mm-hmm. Really great stuff, and they actually have DVDs. They've been endorsed by Mike Nelson.
Oh, that's saying something.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. They're the guy in charge, Rick Wolf, is an awesome dude. I've had him on before. Really great guys. Mm-hmm. So, we are just about out of time. I guess I should ask you now, since it's what everyone's wondering, what are your top 5 favorite episodes of MST3K?
Let's see. There are so many good ones, but the ones that I go back to over and over again. I'd say if I had to pick the top favorite, it would be Hobgoblins. That has always been so funny to me. Let's see. Then Merlin's Shop of Mystical Wonders. Space Mutiny. Touch of Satan and Boggy Creek 2.
Okay, that's a good list. I know my favorite episode of all time, hands down bar none, is Soul Taker.
Oh, that is a good one.
And I also like Werewolf.
That's a great one too.
We did episodes on our top 5, and now I'm trying to remember what I put down for mine, because it changes so often.
Yeah, mine will vary a little bit, but Hobgoblins is always number 1.
Paul, you is a werewolf. Yes, he is. It come to the conclusion, dim bones, dim dry bones, sir. They're just great ones, and plus, we have Joe Estevez.
Yeah.
Charlie Sheen's uncle.
Who is badly wonderful in every badly wonderful movie.
Yes. That's kind of the best way to describe him. He's just great at being in terrible movies.
Yes.
Actually, speaking of Hobgoblins, we actually did an episode with the director of Hobgoblins.
Really?
Yeah, it was. I'm trying to remember his name because I know I'm gonna have to edit this so it doesn't seem like I forgot it. Yeah, we did an episode with him, and he's really cool guy. We also did one with the director of Warrior of the Lost World, which is also on my favorites list.
Oh, that's a good one, yeah.
What's that one? Time Chasers. And he was really cool. He actually sent us some free stuff. He sent us a poster for the movie, the Tangents poster.
Oh, wow, that's really cool.
A Castleton shirt. And he signed the posters, and he also gave me a signed VHS, not a VHS copy of the movie, but a VHS tape cover.
Wow, that's very cool.
That's really cool. He's really cool. All right, so April, thank you for being on the show. It was great to have you.
Sure. Thanks for inviting me. It's great to talk about a thing that's been such a huge influence on, my comedy and my viewing habits and my fandoms and all of that. And
folks listening at home, if you want to check out more of April's stuff, I will have a link in the show notes where you can check her out on Nerdvice or on her YouTube and probably SpoonyExperiment.com as well.
Mm-hmm.
All right, folks, this has been the show. I'm Toby Mobius.
And I'm April von Lon.
It's been the MSTieCast. Thank you for watching. I know.
Now, poopy.